Hey everyone, it's me Hunter. I'm back with Wellsworth. Finally, it's been a long time in the making, and I do apologize for taking so long. Just with a lot of other stuff going on in life, this is not a priority, unfortunately. I know what Lego's not a priority, but school and work come before fun sometimes, and this has been no exception. So, I'm finally able to bring you Wellsworth, and let's just talk about it. We're going to start on the left side. Actually, I'll give you a big overview. I've been giving you a couple side-to-side shots, but a big overview. And then we'll start on the left side, work our way right. So here on the left side, we have kind of what would lead into field and away from the station area. We got a boy and his dog here playing fetch. We got a cow. There's always a cow. Do not forget that. If the model era and the railway series have taught us anything, there's always a cow causing trouble here on Sodor. And then we got a dove chilling in a tree. As we go through this video, I got plenty of doves placed throughout this mock. So I don't know the current number right now as I'm recording this, but feel free to try to scout them all out, spot them, and I'll leave down in the comments how many you think you saw. I'm going to try to count them all up before I take this all down, so I can at least leave the number somewhere for me to remember. But there we got another dove chilling up here on the water tower as Henry thunders by. Back here we have the signal box. This will actually be the only item outside of the engines and the rolling stock, of course, that I'll be keeping from this mock. I will add an interior to it because as of right now there's not an interior. It really, after work picked up and school started again, that was one of the sacrifices I had to make, was not building an interior. Again, I apologize for my voice. I just woke up from a nap and I finally got some time to record, so yeah, I apologize for my voice being a little weird. We got this guy coming in from a hike, it looks like, into the Wellsworth parking lot. We got a car that looks, I'm pretty sure it's from Harry Potter, actually, as well as a telephone booth. The telephone booth design is actually from Smith Movies. I watched one of his videos where he kind of talks about adding in some scenery and detail for train stations or other areas. And that was one of the things I kind of took from that video to put into this mock. So shout out to him. For some really cool and nifty ideas. Then down here we start the yard. I got a little wall that divides up the yard. I considered putting a wall like this over by the parking lot, but I kind of figured, nah, let's leave it open. And really, in the few shots you kind of see of the edge of the parking lot, you can't really tell, but there doesn't look like there's any wall or fence there outside of that little brown fence. Excuse me. So I left that open for walking, but here I thought, since this is a rail yard working area that's probably a little bit more secure, I figured I'd put on a little wall. So we have a set of buffers here next to the coal bunkers for engines to refuel. We also, just down the track a little bit, have a fuel pod for refueling, since we do have some diesels on Sodor. And then just various stuff scattered throughout the yard just to add in some detail, some crates, some workers working hard, some apples maybe from the Vicarage Orchard off Edwards branch line, who knows. Then we got this footbridge right here. This was one of those things I know we stopped and talked about throughout the building series, and I will admit this is definitely a step back and look at it piece, not a observe it close and with scrutiny piece. It's probably the weakest part of this build in truth, but I think it blends in very nicely with everything else. We have various people up on the bridge. We got an older gentleman watching Henry puff by, mother and daughter. Looks like a business gentleman crossing over, ready to catch his next train. And then we got a rail enthusiast trying to snap a picture of Gordon before he leaves the station. And just another gentleman making his way up. Here you can actually see on the middle track, oddly enough on the express line I believe it's called, Derek with 4 China clay cars full of China clay. Derek was kind of the last minute decision or engine to be put into this build. As you can see, we'll stop here for a second and talk about the engines. We have our 3 railway engines, Edward, Gordon, and Henry, as a tribute to the Reverend Audrey and where all these stories came from. Derek kind of represents the model era and the model only characters, and then we have Philip in the yard here, representing CGI characters, and the newest generation of Thomas and Friends. But if we go back here, we also have one more engine, bringing out the narrow gauge representation. We got Peter Sam. He's on a well car going somewhere with Henry. Who knows where Henry's taking him? Find out in a later mock. We'll see. I don't know. Then we got the station buildings, big and plain, in truth. But really, when you look at the Wellsworth station buildings, they're big rectangles with a little bit of detailing on the side. And oddly enough, I call it the goods station of it, they do not have windows on the side. They might have had them on the back, but you really don't see a good image of the back of the station. But I was shocked because when I initially put this together, I built them with windows, just like the passenger building. But they didn't, so I ended up tearing it all down and rebuilding it. So this one is really just a box with a kind of a curved top, curved roof on it. And then we got the passenger building, of course, with some windows, a whole bunch of passengers waiting to board Gordon's train, or actually they probably all got off since Gordon's about to leave the station. So you can kind of see a whole bunch of them down there. I'll get another angle later on in the video looking down the platform. And then we also have some more passengers along this side of the station, or at this station building, probably waiting for the next train after Henry's goods train to take them to their destination. We looked at the yard here. There's a cat just chilling. And we have a school group here with the yard master. He's kind of talking about railway yard operations as Philip shunts some coal trucks over to the coal bunkers to refill them. Again, we have more crates just to add some yard work. And then we have some workers and more various cargo that's waiting to be loaded or whatever to its next destination. But if we hop back over here to the school group, just kind of as I was building the yard and it took shape, I had this spot between the station platform, the station, and this first siding. I was like, well, what do I want to put here? And then it hit me. Especially with Harry Potter, we get all these kind of nicer school uniforms. I was like, oh, we can do a school group. So this was a big, kind of right from the get-go, as the final general layout was coming together, I was like, oh, I need a school group here. So I went ahead and put together this school group, and it's kind of one of my favorite parts of the mock. Just adds some life to it. We also got a daughter and or a woman and her elderly father kind of spying in on the school group, trying to get some of that information as well. You can see the back of Henry's goods train here, along with a guard and her lamp. We'll hop over to Gordon. As I said, he's getting ready to leave with the express after a stop here at Wellsworth. Gordon just looked fantastic. As soon as I dropped him in here with the express coaches, I was like, oh, it's coming together. It looks fantastic, and it really does. I was really happy with this. I was actually worried because Gordon's a pretty big model, and though I think he probably scales pretty well to figures, since I knew Wellsworth as a whole was going to be downscaled a little bit, I was worried he might take up too much space, but he takes up just the right amount of space, shows off his grand size as well as leaving room for other items throughout the mock. And then, of course, on the siding over here we have the engine himself, Edward, my favorite character right now, the original character, and the proud engine that works the Wellsworth branch line. So he's chilling on the siding here. His driver's talking with a elderly gentleman and his grandson. Those are actually the same figures from my bridge mock with Wilbert. So they might be some characters that just keep reappearing throughout any Thomas and Friends mocks I make. Over here we got Sir Topham Hatt and the Earl of Sodor talking with Edward. Earl's always got big plans for the island, so and of course he needs his engines to help carry out these plans, so he's chatting it up, getting ready for his next project. And we got Bertie. Bertie's racing in here with some passengers, and probably to pick up some other passengers to take further into town. And I think that wraps it up. That's pretty much the whole build. Actually, the only thing I got left to do is let me take you guys on a little more personal look can look down the platform there. And I'll take you over to this one. Lots of people. Always busy on Sodor and always busy at Wellsworth, for sure. So, that is it. That is the whole mock. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm sorry it took so long to get out. I'm sorry for the very kind of broken up building series towards the end. It's not how I wanted it to go out. I wanted to go out with a bang like this, not a fizzle, and then hey, we're back. But life gets in the way, as many, I think, builders know. I want to thank you all for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it. And as I was saying, we got a whole bunch of doves throughout this mock. Let me know how many there are. I still got to count them up myself. I'm interested to see what you all get. And stay tuned for my next projects. I got more Star Wars stuff coming, and I got some personal Lego projects coming. So that means I probably won't be sharing a video on them, or I may be when the project's done, and maybe a few images over on Instagram. But between what I call this, like a public project, I'm going to have a private project, and then my real life. So things are getting a little more chaotic, but it's always going to be fun. Again, thank you all for watching. Comment down below, like and dislike the video as you see fit. Let me know if you think I should do more Thomas and Friends builds like this. Stick with Star Wars. All your thoughts are welcomed. And as always, I will see you in my next video.